Hey everybody, welcome back. Just want to make a quick video talking about keeping track of your guns and what you got, your make, model, serial numbers. I mean, basically keeping a log of your guns. I cannot stress the importance enough of keeping track of everything you got and keeping good detailed photos and logs, pictures of everything you've got. I mean, I see it daily in the industry every day. I mean, people get their guns stolen. It's just a fact of life. Guns get stolen. And it's a really difficult thing to deal with. You know, like in the pawn industry, we have people come in and say, hey, I've got a list of guns right here. You know, Grandpa's old Ithaca or whatever. And we end up having all these things going on where, you know, these people claiming to have guns stolen and we can't do anything about it. Really, the point of this video is that I cannot stress the importance enough of keeping track of this stuff. What you see here in the foreground is basically a small representation of my overall collection. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm a Milcert nut and I buy lots of old guns and stuff. And I'm going to basically just share with you my process that I use to keep track of everything I've got. Because let's face it, I've got a lot of them and sometimes it's easy to forget. I mean, I'll even forget that I even have a certain gun until I go digging through the safe and you find it or whatever. But what this is mainly meant to be is to point you in the right direction so that if you do get ripped off, you get stolen from, you have an idea of how to recover your stuff, how to, you know, go about getting it back. So basically, I'm going to sort of hit on a few things. I may even show you a few of these guns, but if you've watched the videos, you've seen a good number of these guns I got on the wall back here. What I do when I get me a new firearm, I take the receipt and file it, of course. I mean, that's a given. I got a file, I keep all my gun receipts in, keep that in a safe place, preferably somewhere, fireproof safe or whatever. Alright, another thing I do is I have a place I put all my newer acquisitions. Once I get a certain amount of them up, in order to make it worth it, I go ahead and I take and I photograph each firearm side to side. If there's any distinguishing markings, for instance, on my number 4 Mark II, we've got, of course, a rack number on the buttstock. That is an excellent identifying mark that we can use to help these firearms find their way back if they're ever stolen or whatever. Anything that can aid the police or investigative authorities in recovering your guns is going to help you out a lot, okay? I can't stress that enough. Unique identifying marks, front and back, a good description. So, like I said, a photograph, get all my photographs I want to take. Then I record, well, I make sure that I photograph the serial number, make and model. Of course, that's a given. If it's a unique rifle, like we got a Finn M39 here. Most people look at the finished rifles and they think, okay, well that's just a regular old Russian 9130. So to help the would-be investigators in recovering your guns, you always want to photograph distinguishing marks. In the case of this gun, we've got the Sacco proof on the top of the barrel, along with the SA mark, and then the unique graduation of sight adjustments on this rifle. So you got to remember that a lot of these law enforcement people are not gun experts. You have to help them. You have to give them as much information as you can to assist them in recovering your firearms. And this also applies to any stolen goods at all. I mean, if you get a new TV, take pictures of the TV, make, model, serial number, everything. Okay, once you have photographed all of your guns, serial numbers, makes, and such, the next thing that you should do is go ahead and back all of those pictures up to an external hard drive. I've got on my computer over there, you can't see it in the shot here, but I've got my personal computer. I back the files up to a zip drive, thumb drive that I carry on my keychain. Alright? That way, if at any point I find out that someone's broken my house, something's missing, whatever, I can immediately have access to anything I need to know about my firearms right on this thumb drive. Okay? I keep 4 of these thumb drives at all times that are preloaded with all my pictures of basically everything I've owned that is serialized, even the tools in my shop. I mean, I cannot stress the importance of that sort of records keeping enough. I keep one of the spare thumb drives hidden in the house, only I know where it is. The other one is in a lockbox at the bank. The other one stays on my keychain all the time. I've got the files backed up to my external hard drive and the hard drive on my computer. So that alone can help you tremendously. If something happens, they get stolen, you can recover those guns. But if you don't have a system like what I demonstrated in this video for your firearms, some sort of records keeping, you will definitely regret it in the long run. If something happens, you're going to feel like you have nowhere to turn and nothing that you can do about it. And really, that's the truth of it. If you don't have a way to turn all this stuff in terms of giving them the makes, models, serial numbers, descriptions, the police are not going to be able to do anything for you, because I'm just going to be truthful with you. Most of them, they're not gun experts. They don't know jack squat about guns. And I would even be willing to bet there's a fair number of people that would look at this wall of guns that I've got here, and they probably wouldn't know the difference between them. And really, my wife is one of them. When I bring a new milsurp home or something, and I say, "Look what I got, Dave," and I show it to her, and she'll look at me and she'll go, it looks just like the rest of them. So, the cops, they have to know certain things and all that, but let's just face it, they're not going to know the differences in each, unique gun and everything. So you've got to really just make it very apparent by giving them all of those descriptions they need. And hopefully, if you watch this video and you didn't have a system like that set up for your guns, hopefully you'll maybe change your mind and have a way to properly document and have all of your information in a safe place and readily accessible. And one thing you have to remember also is that a good number of homeowners insurance policies will only cover guns up to about $2,000. For some of us, $2,000 can mean one individual firearm. So there are other policies out there. If you check with the NRA, there are some policies out there that they offer that will cover guns specifically in homeowners and renter insurance up to, I'm pretty sure the amounts can vary, but I think the one that we have here is like 30 grand, and that's about appropriate overall. So just, food for thought, and, getting the year off to a good start definitely means making sure all of your assets and collectibles are properly cataloged, documented, and accounted for. All right? Y'all have a good day.